Hello everybody, it's ROBLOX, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a group-only tools. And I decided to make this video because what you're going to be learning in this script is universal, which means that you can, the stuff that you learn in this script can be applied to other things, such as if you wanted a group-only team, if you wanted group members to have certain admin or permissions or whatever. You'll be able to take what you learned from this video into those scripts. So here we go. First, we're going to want to insert a server script. Make it a little bigger for you. And we're going to make a variable. And if you watched a last video on functions, then you will know how to make a variable. But if you don't, do not worry. I'll teach you real quick. So what a variable basically is it's like a shortcut. I'm just gonna do this real quick. For example, local pizza can equal to game.baseplay. Oops. Game.workspace.baseplay. So if we needed to access the baseplay a ton, is all we have to type is pizza, and it is talking about the baseplay. That is a variable, and all variables start with local to localize within the script, and then you can name it whatever you want. But right now we're going to refer to the group ID for this variable. So I'm just going to do, you can name this anything you want, but I'm just going to keep it easy to understand. You're going to get the group ID of your group, and I'm going to be using my Gods of Egypt group. So you're going to take this number here, this is the group ID. You're going to copy that. You can do Control C, or right click and press copy. And then you're going to go back to your script and you're just going to paste that. There you go. So now whenever we type in group_ID, we're talking about this number right here. Alright, that's pretty much all we need for that. And now we need the tool. So I'm going to open up go in the Explorer here. The toolbox, and we are going to here, I'll use an Egyptian weapon since a little Egypt theme here going on, and it's going to want to go in the starter pack, but you're going to just move that to the server storage, because anything in the any tool that's in the starter pack will be given to every single player that's in the game. But we don't want that. We only want group members to be able to get this tool, so we're just going to put it in the server storage real quick. We're going to go back to our script and we're going to make another variable called local tool. And like I said, you can name this anything you want. And we're going to refer to the game.serverstorage.gopesh. We'll close that toolbox real quick. So now whenever we say tool, we are referring to this little guy right here. And now we can make our function. And this is where functions come in handy. Like, I really strongly recommend you to watch my functions video. It's completely new scripting friendly, so if you're really interested in scripting, definitely go check that out. I explain everything that's going on, why things do what they do, and what to type. So I'm just gonna quickly do it right here. If you don't understand, like I said, make sure you go check out that functions video, because functions are critical in scripting. You'll be using them in pretty much every single script that you make. So I'm just going to do game.players.playerAdded equals connect function. Do the parameters PLR for player. Alright, so now what this function is saying is every single time a player joins the game, do this. Now we don't want to stop here. We don't want to check if they're in the group right now, because what that means is when they first join the game, this function will run. But then if they die or reset, it won't, because it only started when the player joined the game. So what we want to do now is PLR, because that's our parameter for player. Whenever we say PLR in the script, it is referring to the player that just joined. We're going to do PLR.characterAdded.connect. Whoops. Just like a function, connect function. And our parameter here is going to be char for character. So now what this is saying, what this function is saying here is when the player first joins the game, like the join, this function will start, and then it'll wait until the character is added. So when they spawn, this is what's going to happen. And this is what's going to keep it, so when they reset or die, it'll run again. So this will run every single time that the player is spawned in. So now we're going to do a PLR colon is in group, parentheses, and then group underscore ID. And we're going to put an if before, whoops, all lowercase. If the player's in the group, then, so everything that's in between this line and this line, so everything in here will run if the player is in the group. So in this case, every time a player is inside of, or a member of the Egyptian group, it'll happen right in here. So we want to call the tool. We're going to do local tool. We're going to actually make a, sorry, I'm kind of confusing you right now. We're going to make another variable called clone equals tool colon clone. Now we can't just use tool because then it would just take this tool and give it to the player, and then there would be no more tools for the other players to use. So we want to clone it. And then we're going to do clone.parent equals plr.backpack. So what that means, so what the script is saying is when a player first joins the game, check if they're in the group when the character spawns. And if they are, in fact, in the group, then we're going to clone the tool and give it to them. But you don't want to leave it right there. We're going to do an else statement. So what this basically says is if the player is not in the group, then do this. Now, if you didn't want it to do anything, you don't worry about the else. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to use else, and we're going to print something in the console, just so you understand. This player is not in the group. So just to recap on what we did in the script, we made a variable for the group ID. We also made a variable for the tool, the Kopesh, right in the server storage. When the player joins, it's going to check if they're in the group once their character spawns. And if they are, then it's going to clone the tool, put it in their backpack, and if they're not, then right here in the console, it's going to print this player is not in the group. So if I join the game right now, I should be given the Kopesh. Let's clear this. Clear output. As you can see, I was in fact given this tool. I was given the Kopesh. But let's just test it. So this ID is very important. It has to be exactly. So that's why I said copy it and paste it. We're going to change this 9 to an 8. Completely different group that I am not a member of. We're going to play it, and if we pay attention to the output, it's gonna, a lot of stuff's going on. Don't pay attention to any of this. As you can see here, it says this player is not in the group, and I was not given any tool. So if you guys learned something, make sure you like the video and put in the comments any suggestions and videos that you would like me to make. I was really happy to make this one because, like I said earlier in the video, it's very universal. Like you can put any of this knowledge that you've got from here to anything else for group members. So hope you guys enjoy this video. Leave a like and subscribe if you're new here and you want more content like this. I don't upload as often as I'd like because I am busy developing other games and I have some things going on in real life. So, but there are other videos and there will be more coming. So if you learned something, leave a like and comment any suggestions that you have and subscribe if you're new. Alright, I will see you guys later and take it easy.